You're listening to Active Vegetarian, episode 68. Hello and welcome to the Active Vegetarian Show, the plant-based eater's guide to fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. To discover how to fit healthy plant-based eating into your life and for practical fitness advice, visit us at activevegetarian.com. We're your hosts, Nikki and Susanna, so let's get started. I'm actually thirsty.
Do you want me to bring you some water? Can bring you water.
I think it's suitable. We're going to be talking about water, and I need some water.
Here you go, Nikki. Here's your water. Enjoy. Drink up. Now let's begin.
Let's do it. Welcome to Active Vegetarian.
Welcome to the show.
Well, that was pretty good. It's clear that you're here because you're interested in health.
Wellness.
Yes, wellness.
Plant-based foods.
That's right. Will you stop interrupting me now?
Sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
all good. We know that good nutrition is super important, and today what we want to talk about is the importance of water, and especially the quality of your water. Now, Zeus, you spent a lot of time really researching, and you dove deep into that rabbit hole of the water system and really what's out there.
What's out there?
Well, I think it's such a broad topic, and there's a lot of information that maybe is misinforming or hidden.
Yeah, hidden. Let's put it that way. I think we often are very unaware what's really happening with our water system. You know, I think it's very easy to ignore because I think we think of water, it's readily available, we don't really have to question it, and we trust it because after all, what we learn in school is that water is water, H2O, you know? So what can be bad about water? But actually, when we look deeper into it and we start to really research of what's happening with our water supply, the drinking water, and even the water we use on day-to-day basis for showering or washing, cleaning, you know, washing the fruits and vegetables we are eating. It could be a rabbit hole. Let's just put it that way.
Well, we won't get into it yet. We will eventually. But first, I want you to explain to the listeners really the importance of water. What does it do for us on a health level? Why do we need water? Because obviously we do need it.
Yes, of course, we need water. And I think, you know, like you were saying at the beginning, if you're interested in being healthy, you obviously nourish your body with clean food. And I think many people know that drinking enough water is also important, right? So if we don't drink enough water, the body starts to really rebel and tell us about it. And often we don't really notice it until it's maybe too late. So after all, we are made out of about 72% water. So pretty much 2/3 of you are water. More than 2/3. What would it be? Three quarters. Three quarters of your body is made out of water. So we need water. We need to replenish water in order to perform at a top level. Water, for example, eliminates toxins from our body. We live in a very toxic environment, so if we are not drinking enough water, the toxins are storing in our body. Another thing is, if we are drinking enough water, it will keep our blood thin and flowing well.
So our circulation would be much better, and that's going to provide more oxygen throughout our body.
Of course, you know, so this is just another level what water can do for us. Cellular and bodily functions such as digestion. How many people today are dealing with gut issues? You know, different sorts of gut issues.
This is really important. And I remember when I was doing a hydrotherapy session once, the lady that was the technician, she was explaining to me about water and the importance of it and hydrating ourselves and how much it affects our intestines and our colon and how it basically allows them to work properly and massage and really break down.
And you know, Nick, this is a wonderful point because when you think about it, your colon is again largely made out of water. If there is not enough hydration in the colon, it starts to become dry. You know, think about shrinking basically. It's not able to function properly, and the colon needs to move in order to properly digest food.
Some other reasons why we need some water?
Well, relieving constipation, which goes very, very well with digestion. Another thing is that often we mistake hunger for actually thirst. So if we are drinking enough water, we won't have to be constantly refueling our body with food, you know, but the body is craving something, but it might not be food at that time.
But if I'm not mistaken, you might seem more hungry, if you are drinking more water. I know for myself, once I increase my water intake even more and more and more, my metabolism is running a lot more efficient. My colon therefore be running a lot more efficient.
Right.
And I feel like I'm more hungry, I guess.
Here's the thing, like what the water does, it regulates your system, right? So if the metabolism speeds up and your body requires more food, it will tell you that it needs more food. However, if you keep your body nicely hydrated and you have extra weight to lose, the body again will regulate itself, and it's not going to send those messages of hunger to you. Does that make sense? Because again, often we mistake the feelings of hunger for actually being thirsty. So keep your body hydrated properly, and it will give you the right signals when it's time to eat or drink.
So it's clear that hydration is super important for us. Now, just talking about all of the benefits that water has and what it does in our body and our system, let's talk about the importance of the quality of water, because clearly it's going to have an effect on your body if it's helping the colon function, if it's helping all of these internal things work and properly move, then it's really dependent on the quality that we're putting into our system.
Of course, and it's a quality of anything. Right? Anything we put into our body, we need to be thinking about how pure is this. And unfortunately, many people drink enough water. They go to the extent of drinking enough, but they're not always thinking about the quality of the water they're drinking. And if the water comes with different contaminants, which we'll be talking about, like for example, I don't know, should I go right into it?
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, so many people drink tap water. Tap water is chlorinated, and sometimes it even has a fluoride in it. And in both cases, that's actually harming the body more so than hydrating the body.
Right.
Because all of a sudden, if there is something in the water that your body doesn't recognize or doesn't want, it has to filter it.
It's basically recognizing it as almost like a poison, which it is. And yes, your organs like your liver and such are going to start to work overtime in order to filter it.
Absolutely. But you're hoping to hydrate your body and do your body something good, but at the same time you're kind of harming the body, right? So again, thinking about the quality of water is going to be very important, making sure that you're hydrating yourself with good quality water.
So what types of other contaminants other than chlorine and fluoride could we find in our municipal water system?
Okay, municipal water system, yes. The water that most water companies buy comes from underground storage, from lakes, from rivers. So what they have to do, they have to bring it into their facility, and they need to treat the water somehow, because obviously this water could have contaminants already in it. It could have bacteria. So the one way they treat it is by putting chlorine, because it kind of kills the bacteria. It does kill the bacteria, but also, like I said before, it's harmful to the body, right? So that's one contaminant. The other one is fluoride, and I know, Nick, that you've done some research on fluoride because you're interested in it when it comes to the pineal gland, right?
So anybody listening who doesn't know what the pineal gland, it's basically a tiny sized gland that's sitting in the center of our brain. It produces different types of hormones like melatonin, serotonin, which we obviously need to function. Now what happens is fluoride calcifies and accumulates on the pineal gland, which reduces its function. So we aren't producing these hormones as we should.
Right. So a lot of the times people having hard time falling asleep or not having a good sleep basically could be due to
consuming contaminated water.
Okay.
Or even looking a little bit deeper in what type of dental products you're using and if it's containing fluoride. So I think just checking and seeing if you're consuming anything that contains fluoride, because it's affecting us, our hormones, and even our consciousness, believe it or not. And I don't want to get into all of that, but it does affect us on a large variety.
So very similar to basically chlorine, which causes dementia and memory loss and such stuff. The fluoride affects our sleeping patterns. It could be affecting bone density oftentimes. So those are just two of the contaminants in our water system.
But I know there's more than that. So why don't you give the listeners a breakdown and a list of other contaminants that might be in our water?
I don't know if you guys are ready for this, though.
I know, it is.
I don't think we often think about it. You know, it's water. It comes from your water tap in the kitchen and you shower with it. But just hear me out, okay? So toilet paper residue is often part of your water. I know. Heavy metals such as lead and arsenic, and it makes sense because we live in an environment where there is a lot of pollution, so the pollution has to go somewhere. It
settles somewhere.
It settles down and it goes into the water system, so we are just basically feeding it. Another thing is pesticide residue. So that goes hand in hand with environment. Farmers are spraying pesticides on their lands. It goes into the soil. It leaks into our water system. Petrochemicals, residue of medications. How often do people take their prescription medication and flush it down a toilet?
Well, not even just that. I would think as well as when we consume any type of supplement or prescription, if our body doesn't need it, then we get rid of it. So we're urinating it out or we're wasting it out. And that's going to end up into our water.
And that's just it. Like, these companies might be using the chlorine to kill the bacteria, but those are things that the chlorine doesn't kill. So we are ending up basically putting it back into our body. So, I know that's kind of bad news.
I know, it's like, what do we do? Because we need water to function, we need water to live. So let's turn this into a more positive.
Okay, let's do this. So hopefully we scared you enough to never drink your tap water again. And honestly, if you don't believe it, if you feel like your city water has a really good quality water, get it tested.
That's fair.
Get it tested by a really high quality lab, basically, who's going to give you the right information.
Because we're not saying it is absolutely no good. It may be okay to drink. It's just a matter of testing it and just making sure and having that peace of mind, I think, for yourself before you are possibly consuming some of these contaminants.
That's right. Okay, but there is hope. And you were asking, okay, so where else can we get water other than our tap water? Your best case scenario would be, and that's my dream, is to live somewhere where you have an access to wild spring water, preferably coming out of a mountain.
I don't think this would be easy for most people to find. It sounds like it's like a dream world.
Preferably somewhere far away. That's not possible for everybody. However, you have options. Probably in your area there's somewhere a spring water and access to spring water.
And there is a great resource, and it's www.findaspring.com. If you go to our website, activevegetarian.com, and you read the blog post for this podcast, then this reference and this resource is listed there as well. So maybe you do have one around you. Maybe you are living in this lovely, wonderful world.
And if you are, please let us know. We'll come visit. Anyways.
All right. So what's another option for people if they don't have access to spring water?
Or if they don't want to forage for their own water.
Yes.
The next best thing would be probably, well, I wouldn't say next best thing. How about if I give you some options?
That's great. Let's do it.
So you have filtered water. And filtered water can come from different places. You can have a pitcher at home, so you can filter your drinking water. You can have a shower head that will filter your water, or you can go all out and you can get yourself a full system. So full system for the full house, which will actually filter all the water. So if you're drinking it, or you're doing your laundry, or bathing dishes, or cooking, bathing in it, absolutely, or cleaning, whatever you're doing, that water will be filtered.
It seems like it would probably be pricey for something like this.
It is pricey, and there's a couple of different options you can go with. There's a reverse osmosis, so that's one system. There's a carbon filters. The reverse osmosis tends to be pretty expensive for the full house, so not many people really do it. The carbon filters work really well. There's pros and cons for both, and there's actually tons of new systems on the market as well these days that you can really look into. So if that's something you want to invest into, this is definitely a good option, a full house water filtering system.
Okay, so if somebody doesn't want to spend like 10 grand to put the reverse osmosis through their whole house, what would you recommend as the basic starting points for people?
To filter their water?
Yeah, what are the top things, to make sure that you are filtering?
Well, definitely your drinking water.
Of course.
So have at least a pitcher at home where you fill it and filter that. The next thing is when you're cooking or cleaning your vegetables, because again, you're washing those vegetables, then you're eating them, you're putting it into your body. So making sure that you are using that filtered water to clean your vegetables as well.
And also, we just recently had put a post out about a do-it-yourself vegetable and fruit cleaner, which that would be a great additive to this filtered water to make sure you're properly cleaning them. But on top of that, so you're cleaning your vegetables with filtered water and fruits and such, and you're drinking filtered water by using a pitcher one, which is fine. That's suitable for people. Now, bathing.
That's a big one, because whenever you are in a shower or you're bathing in the water, because of the steam and everything, those chemicals are evaporating you're breathing them.
Not to mention that our skin is the largest organ.
Oh my goodness, yes.
We are instantly taking all of that into our system.
Invest into a shower head filter. There's several of them again on the market. Just find the best one for you. Just read reviews and find the one that will suit your shower head and start filtering your shower water.
And now, just to give a breakdown for people listening, average, I would say here in the city, buying a filtered pitcher is averaging around the $50 range, give or take a little bit. And same with the shower head filter. It's about that same price point. Maybe even a little bit less depending on where you're getting it from. So that's not bad. Around $100 or under $100, you could be doing pretty good with filtering and making sure that your water is clean.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on. What's next?
Well, what about if you're on a go? What do? Do you carry your water bottle with you everywhere you go? Do you refill it from your household? I would suggest so, because you definitely don't want to be buying bottled water.
No bottled water?
No.
Talk to me, because you see it a lot.
Yes, and it's so easy, right? It's on a go, it's very convenient. And that's the thing. Bottled water is a convenience. It's a modern day convenience. And it's probably one of the biggest disasters for our environment.
And that's where I understand that the plastic consumption is a huge impact in a negative way on our environment. But what about the bottled water in general and on our health? Does it affect us in our health?
Yes. You know what, Nick? I like the fact that we start with the environment, because let's face it, our convenience is really harming us in a huge way. It's harming this planet, because the amount of water bottles that are not being recycled every single year, and even the ones that are being recycled, it's causing a lot of pollution. So I guess I encourage anybody out there to really think twice before they buy bottled water or bottled anything.
And isn't it true that bottled water is, in fact, majority of it is in fact just tap water anyways?
Yes. There's really no hardcore regulations when it comes to bottled water. So often these companies are just putting a tap water right into your bottle. And I'm not even kidding you about this. When you do the research, when you go out there and you actually learn about this, it's mind-blowing. We think that we are drinking some spring water from the mountains somewhere in Switzerland, but we might be drinking actually a tap water.
Oy. Okay, so let's not drink bottled water. Let's start to buy a reusable bottle and use our home filtered water and refill it. And there's places around, here in Vancouver as well. I know whenever I have my bottle, I'm out on the go. There's places that have filtered water that you can stop into, whether it's a grocery store. Even we have Body Energy Club here that's a supplement store, and they always have a filtered water system just sitting there for you to drink from. So if ever I pop in there, just kind of know your options and know what's around you when you're on the go.
A lot of pharmacies would have water, good filtered water, so you can refill it. It's more and more common, let's just put it that way.
Let's paint this scenario. You're out on the go. You don't have your reusable bottle that has your water in it. You're dying of thirst. You don't want to obviously buy bottled water. Is there an option?
Well, yes, you said don't buy bottled water, but you have an option of buying water in glass. So that could be an option.
Okay.
That's definitely better than the plastic.
For the environment.
And make sure that it's a spring water. Find one that is spring water, not carbonated, but a spring water.
Okay, so then there's distilled water. Let's talk about what is distilled water, first of all.
Distilled water is a water that's been heated. So let's say that you take a water from your tap, and you heat the water up to a boiling point that it starts to actually steam and evaporate.
Right.
So that is the evaporated water that we are dealing with. That's the distilled water.
So we basically collect that evaporation process.
Yes, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. So during the evaporation process, a lot of the chemicals from the waters and the hard particles are being filtered. So you end up with the purest kind of water.
So basically when it's evaporating, the chemicals and such are remaining in that residue that's released from it.
It's not as easy as I'm describing it. It's a whole process, and you have to have a distiller in order to do it. But there is some companies that supply distilled water to your house, or you can sometimes buy it. But again, when you're buying it in a plastic jars, right?
Now, I know that it is the purest because a lot of people use it for, say, medical offices would probably use distilled water. I know for enemas and such, you're encouraged to use distilled water, as well as it can be to the point of when you're working on your vehicle.
Right.
For refilling your radiator, they often recommend distill because it is pure, it's clean. So to me, it makes most sense that is what we would want to be putting in our system. Because if it's pure to go, it's pure to use in medical instances, it's pure to use in our car or vehicle, whatever. So to me, I feel like that's what I would want to put in my system because it does sound the purest.
Yes, so some purists and raw foodists swear by fueling their body with distilled water, and to me it sounds like a wonderful idea. I've talked to many people who've done really well drinking distilled water, and that's been pretty much their only source of water they've had. And then there are arguments against distilled water, because when you look at it, we said that the distilled water is basically water with no elements in it. It's just pure. So therefore, a lot of the minerals that normally would come from the water are also stripped away. So from that sense, the water has no value. Does that make sense? It does not really put any value in brackets other than just the water. However, it's totally everybody's choice. You know, you have to look at all the facts we just gave you from all kinds of sources of water, and decide for yourself what would be the best, and listen to your body, really.
And educate yourself more on it. Do some more research. We're just, I feel like we're just scraping this topic and giving the basics of really what we believe and what we understand and what we've researched. So if you are questioning anything, then just dive a little bit deeper. Educate yourself a little bit more on it if that's the route you want to take.
Yes, educate yourself, Nick. That's a really good point, because honestly, education is one of the keys to success when it comes to your health. If you don't really start to dig a little bit deeper and find out the root causes of certain things or how certain things work, it's going to be very difficult to maintain this path to better health and well-being.
Good. I think that was some pretty good information. We dove into the rabbit hole, and I think we pulled ourselves out.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I feel like we're still somewhere in there.
No, I think if people, again, start listening to their body, they start to educate themselves and just really start to be aware in general what you're putting into your body, what you're consuming, and what it's doing to your body. I mean, we're given one body on this earth, really. It's the vehicle to drive us there, and we should really maintain it to its fullest.
And this is a beautiful thing, Nick, because we can look at it from a very positive approach as well. We have the tools to be able to do so. It's maybe more challenging because we live in a very fast-paced world where everything is moving 1,000,000 miles an hour.
And to be honest, you can't really put a price or a value on your health. So when you look at spending around $100 to filter and to clean your water that you're drinking and that you're putting onto your skin and that you're consuming through your skin, then in the long run, I think that's a pretty good investment for yourself.
You're either going to pay for it now or you're going to pay for it later.
Exactly.
So I think it's a choice. And the nice thing is that we can really live more healthily. It's not all that challenging. It just takes a little bit of a change of mindset, I would say. But we can live in a more healthy and positive way and really enjoy the life we've been given. And I think that's really worth it. To me, that's worth it.
Thank you for listening to the Active Vegetarian Show, the plant-based eater's guide to fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. For more information, including recipes, nutritional advice, fitness tips, and coaching, please stop by activevegetarian.com. Until then, live active, live healthy, and enjoy life.